So our next and final method of the universal spinal principles is going to be splitting the limbs from one side or another. So the predator goes down to the same position here. His spine is right on this line, and we're in the mount position. There's so many instances where I can trap his arm in between my elbow and my knee, and now he doesn't have the ability to bring his arms across the spinal line anymore. Now from here, I have so many different options where I can start to go for triangles, I can start to go for arm bars, but the fact that I've trapped this arm on one side and he's no longer able to cross the spinal plane is another great method. If he's in side control, he wants his hands in this good framing position. So one thing that I could do is I could start to trap and isolate his arms, where now he doesn't have the ability again to move this arm across the spinal line. And what I do is I don't go straight for one submission. What I do is I compromise his spinal integrity, I compromise his ability to control his own movement across his spinal line, and that gives me the option of being able to go for so many different submission attacks. Okay, but this doesn't just exist in these positions. If I have your back, this exists in so many different positions. If I'm here and I'm looking to trap his arm, now his arm is behind him. He doesn't have the ability to cross the spinal line, and I have great ability to start to go in for chokes here, okay? This doesn't just exist, of course, from the standard top positions. It exists off of our back as well, where the whole idea and concept of rubber guard is where I've split his arms. I've made it so that he cannot cross the spinal line. If I'm in a clamp guard type situation here, he has no ability to get his arms back, control his hands together, and then I have easy options where I'm able to go into omoplatas, triangles, and so on and so forth. But as always, this doesn't just exist from the dominant positions or the guard. This also exists while I'm on top here. So what I do is I split his legs, where I trap this leg to the floor here, and then he doesn't have the ability to move his legs back across his own spinal line. So he can't do his guard retention of being able to bring his legs back in place. I trap one leg down across the spinal line, and I'm in such advantage to be able to pass, okay? And there's endless examples of this. Try to look at the techniques that show this and realize what you're actually doing is you're compromising their spinal line, where they're no longer able to properly defend the techniques. So when I am fighting against someone, just like in chess, I try to make the position on the board bad for them. I'm not going for individualized techniques. So this has been the conclusion of the universal spinal principles. Try to see Jiu-Jitsu through this lens, and all the techniques will fit into one of these categories. Thank you guys so much, and have a great day.